You can't go wrong with a silver Disney Cars diecast. I mean, how can you? They just always look so stunning, so cool. There's so many different ways you can look at them too. It's like a raw metal kind of finish, but it's also almost like metallic in its own way. It just like makes the decals stand out more. There's just I don't know. There's just a lot to love about silver cars. I know. At the same time, sure, they are just easy repaints for Mattel to do for characters that they already have the castings for and everything. They already have the decals for and they already have the artworks for it too, so it's easy for Mattel to make them, and they still count as new cars technically, obviously. But I don't know, I really like them. I can't see many faults in them. I know some people get tired of them after they release too many, like they did in I guess 2020 when this guy was released. But I don't know, I can never get enough silver cars. I hope they do more in the future too, and they kind of are right now with the Disney 100 diecast in a way. Those are kind of like silver cars too. I mean, they very much are silver, but they're not really marketed as that. But anyways, welcome on back to the Cars Garage, everyone. Enough rant about what silver is and what it isn't. Of course, today I have for you Silver the King. I mean, that's just the best combination you could ever get. One of the best Cars characters, the best Cars diecast, and one of the best colors he could possibly be in. I mean, it just looks so stunning on him. This bare metal type finish of a silver paint that he has is so cool. And the fact that they even inverted the colors for the rims and the main metal body is just even cooler. How they made the rims blue. I mean, very good choice on that, Mattel. I really do like this car, and it's funny because they have a little bit of a funny story, not really funny, but a cool story to tell about how I got him, because I actually got him on Christmas Day of 2020, and that was actually the only car I got for Christmas that year, because I had kind of taken a little break in 2019, 2020. It wasn't the best years for me collecting cars, because I just couldn't find any in stores. I'd kind of given up hope, and, I mean, a lot of the stores were closed at the time, too, of course, because all the whole Rona business and everything like that, all the stores were closed for a long time, so when I got this guy for Christmas, really, it puts such a smile on my face because, of course, if you don't know, I love the King already. Damage the King is probably my favorite Cars diecast out there, and I just love that any time that he gets a new variant. I think it's very exciting because he doesn't really get all that many variants in the films. Like, of course, he has the headset version, which they still haven't done for some reason. Other than that, I mean, I can't really think of any other King variants that they haven't done as diecast yet. There really isn't any. Like Mattel, every time they make a new one, like this metallic one here, or the silver one, of course, they just had to make them up themselves because obviously they didn't appear in any films. So really, I guess the only two variants of the King Mattel has made that are actually from movies are the regular one and the damaged version, of course. But anyways, without any further ado, let's dive right in. This car looks absolutely stunning. He doesn't appear in the films at all, so no reason to show any pictures of where he appeared because he didn't. I mean, we all know where the King appeared, of course. So no reason to show that. But I just love the bare metal type finish that he has on him. It's a really cool type of silver. Very different from how Mattel used to do silver. Obviously, back in the day, if you don't know, Mattel did do silver cars before. Like, starting in 2012, around that time, the Cars 2 era of Cars diecast, they did a whole line of silver racers from the World Grand Prix, of course, like this McQueen here, for example. And the silver is just a very different kind of silver. There's more like a glossy finish. Obviously, they were made in China, but now that the cars are made in Thailand and everything, the silver just comes across different. And honestly, I like it better, which is surprising because usually I always say China makes cars better than Thailand. But in this case, in the case of the silver cars, I gotta say they do a better job. And it's pretty cool they are starting to do more silver cars this year in 2023 with the Disney 100 diecast. And they kind of had the same type of a bare metal kind of silver too, which, I mean, I just think it looks way better than the older silver color that Mattel used to use. All the paint and everything always gets changed, like when they do Thailand cars now. It always looks different than the old Chinese ones. But this guy never really had any variants. The silver version of the King never released in China, of course. It only was in Thailand in 2020 in the Silver Series, so on Blue Desert. Obviously, all of his decals are the same as a normal King diecast. Got the Dinoco logo, the egg-shaped Dinoco logo on the hood, with that big old T-Rex and his scrawny little arms. Very cool looking. Number 43. I don't have a Thailand King opened up. Probably will eventually, because the one I got in 2022 came on very bad packaging. I got it on Walmart.ca. So if I find another one in the packaging on Red Riders, packaging, then I definitely will pick it up and probably open the one I already have. I'm not a big fan of his plastic eye plate, though, I gotta say. Usually they don't bother me, but this one, the silver just doesn't match all that great. They did kind of the same thing with the Cruisin' McQueen. Actually, it probably looks a little bit better on Cruisin' McQueen. It just kind of looks plasticky. It looks like gray paint on his eyelids, and I mean, it just doesn't really match. I mean, when you look at Cruise here, the Dinoco Cruise Silver Racer, obviously hers is a little better, I would say, for sure. It definitely looks more like the rest of the color that he has, like on the rest of her body there that she has. So it's kind of weird they screwed it up with the king here, but oh well. Nice brown eyes. Are the king's eyes brown? Yeah, they are, but they changed them. Like, I think after his crash, he changes his eye color, which doesn't make any sense. A little movie mistake for you. But of course, he's number 43. He's a 1973, I think, right? Plymouth Superbird. I want to say 1973. Obviously voiced by Richard Petty and everything. Famous former NASCAR driver. Look at all his contingency sponsors on the side there. Piston Cup, No Stall, Mood Springs. Wow, those are really blurry. I don't even know. Well, it's Vitalina. I almost couldn't even read it. Wow. Gasprin, Little Turkey Pistons, Retread, and Easy Idle. Zoom in on that. It looks horrible. Come on, Thailand. Okay, well, they succeeded with the silver color, but other than that, they really suck on the decals. I mean, I can't put it mildly. They're not good. Not at all. These ones are alright, I guess. The Dinoco logo there in the back. Not too shabby. I love all the King's body lines, though. Like, cool little, I don't know what that would be. Like, for the air to go in, like an air intake, I guess. Maybe that's why he's so aerodynamic. Like, he is very, like, stout. Or, not really stout. What would be the word to describe his body? Kind of like very low to the ground, but very long in the same sense. So I think it makes him very aerodynamic. I mean, when you put it that way, like the King started racing in the 70s, and then he was still like on the top of his game in 2006. He was always winning pretty much against even rookie racer McQueen. But when McQueen, was only like 10 years into his racing career, he already couldn't keep up with the more modern racers. Obviously, technology advanced more from 2006 to 2017, more than it did from the 70s to 2006, but still. It just proves how great of a racer the King is. I think he's probably even better than McQueen when you put it that way. Maybe not quite as fast, but I don't know. Like on the top of his game, maybe he would be. I don't know. I mean, he can always almost beat McQueen in a race. Maybe not now because he's older, but in 2006 at least. Anyway, he's got the Dinoco logo and the 43s on his back end there. His taillights aren't even colored in. Are they normally? No, I guess they're not. Never mind. I thought he always had red taillights. I guess not, though. Cool how he has a black like bumper here. That's pretty cool. Usually it's silver. That's a difference for sure. There's a look at the base. M51A, so made in the 51st week of 2019, I think. Unless it would be 2020. I always forget how to read the Thailand ones, the date stamps there. I love the blue rims though. Very cool they inverted the colors there. Because usually they're just silver. I really like how they did that. They did that with a few other ones too. I think they did that with Miguel Camino. They made his tires like orange. And then maybe even with Jeff Corvette, made his tires, or his rims, I should say, yellow. So that's cool. And the spoiler looks good too, though. Very nice. It's a little plasticky looking, of course. It's just when they put the silver on the plastic parts, it never comes off as good as it does on the metal, of course. But, oh well. I mean, it's look at it all together as a whole. It doesn't look too bad. The silver just sometimes doesn't look as, it looks a bit mix-mashed, I guess. But here on the top, big number 43. Not very outlined, just a very thin black outline on the trunk here, though. It is very outlined, so that's kind of weird. Big old number 43. It's more like coming off, like it has more of a shadow effect to it. But that's cool. They changed it up, and the window is a plastic insert, of course, but it's almost like it doesn't go in as deep as the side windows there. So that's kind of interesting. Usually he has very nice silver trim around his windows, I think. I guess not. Never mind. I thought he normally did. I think he does in the movie. He does in the back there, but now it's like just gray paint instead of actual silver. That could just be a Thailand or a China to Thailand thing, though. I don't have, like I said, a normal Thailand King opened up. I do have one in the package, though. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this guy. He really is just a normal King variant, but somebody wanted me to review him in the comments, so I definitely wanted to make sure I did. I was going to do a full-on, like, review like all the King variants at once, but I never ended up doing that. Felt like too long of a video. I actually made the whole thing. I then deleted it, but I think just singular reviews are sometimes better. All the details and everything, though, are pretty much the same. Like I said, the one of the biggest differences, other than the silver, of course, is those rims now being blue. They look good, though. I like them in blue a lot. I wouldn't look as good on this King as the normal one, because he's already blue. Be a bit too much blue, maybe, but looks good on the silver one, I think. And then we have the metallic version here, only released with lenticular eyes, unfortunately. Other than that, he's a really cool diecast. But I'm just not a big fan of the lenticular eyes. I guess this one's not too bad, though. It doesn't look like an alien with 4 eyes, I guess, as much as I thought it did. But, yeah, I think that was from 2010, so a whole 10 years before. But all the decals and everything are the same. Does this King have... Oh, yeah, he does have a black base. I guess all the Kings have a black base. Never mind. Okay, I thought the King usually had a silver base. I'm gonna say for a second, did I not even realize that? But it's cool that he has a black bumper. That's definitely a change. And then, where is Damage the King? Here he is. This is the 2022 variant of Damage the King, which I really like. As you know, I love Damage the King. I found my original Chinese one at a thrift store, and I think that's what really sparked my collecting journey, my collecting hobby. A lot more than it would have been if I didn't find him, probably, because I don't know, it was like my first rare car, and it just got me really excited and wanting to find more rare cars. And honestly, I haven't found that many rare cars since that day, which was like probably about 10 years ago now too. But yeah, I just love finding unexpected gems like that, and this one was definitely fun to get on Christmas morning. Definitely probably the best present I got that year for Christmas, 2020, for a year that wasn't that filled with cars. Diecast for me at least, because obviously, just not a lot of stores were open and everything, which is kind of a bad year for collecting. 2021 was definitely better, but this guy was one of the only cars I got in the entire 2020 year, so definitely, I think holds him to a higher standard, makes me really like him even more. He is just a repaint, but at the same time, I don't know, he just looks really cool. I like him a lot. I love how silver looks on the King. And let me know in the comments below what you guys think of him, too, because I really am interested to know. I know a lot of people like the silver cars. There is a lot of people that also think, nah, they're just characters I already have, just with a different paint job, and it's kind of boring. But I don't know, I don't look at them that way. Let me know what you guys think, though, down in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time on the Cars Garage.